Hello everyone, welcome to the Angriest Chicken Open Fall 2015, because we don't have a long enough title, Grand Finals. Taco, we'll just call it Taco. These are the Taco Finals for
it's
Fall
here.
2015. With me is Willie Dills. Hey
What
Dills, how you doing, man?
How's it going?
I'm doing all right. I'm really excited to see our Taco champions battle it out.
Yeah, this is going to be nice. I didn't get a chance to cast the last ones, but it looked like you guys had a pretty good final.
Yeah.
Sweet casting job done by you guys. I'm excited to jump on for this one. So this is cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it's the finals are going to be Conquest format, best of 5. We don't know what decks they are using, so we will be just as surprised as the
Well, I know their
viewers.
classes. I can tell you their classes.
Okay.
So we got Fantomas running Mage, Warlock, Warrior.
Okay.
And we've got ImTomLincoln running Hunter, Mage, Paladin. So
Nice.
I'm going to guess. I think we can make a fairly decent guess on these. The ones that are tough are Mage and Warlock. That's kind of hard to figure out. You know, but it's Tempo Mage, Freeze Mage, Handlock, or some sort of a Demon Zoo, maybe, with the
Yeah.
Warlock. You could also see Malagos Warlock, maybe, or something like that. And I'm guessing Patron. And then I'm going to guess Mid-Range Hunter, Tempo Mage, Secrets Paladin for the other guy. For ImTomLincoln.
Those seem
That's
like
what I'm gonna
pretty safe bets.
Yeah. I mean, these are, I think, the strongest versions of those classes. And if these guys made it to the finals, they're probably playing the strongest versions of those classes, don't you think?
Yeah, I would think so. I would hope so.
So this tournament, I think, had 93 entrants. It was done over 2 days. We had a pool of 128, but obviously, like, some people maybe couldn't make it or something like that. And we had a lot of names that I recognize, and some of those guys got pretty far. Hearth Power versus Beast Mode. Those guys got to the top 8. It looks like.
Yep.
And but I mean, this is a deep field and a big tournament, and when you have to play this many matches, this is what I like about Hearthstone, and we've talked about it a lot too. Like, anybody can win on any given day. It's not necessarily always like the best player, but it's always going to be like the person who gets this far definitely deserves it, right?
Right. Absolutely. And they definitely fought. I mean, and it doesn't look like they necessarily stopped. Like Tom Lincoln, Beast Mode took a game off of him in the semifinals, and same thing with Fantomas. Darth Yoda took a game off him as well.
Yeah, well, so most of the series for Tom Lincoln were 3-1s, 3-0 mixed in there as well. But he barely got by Hearth Power with a 3-2, so he had a little bit of a scary moment there. And yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of good players in here, so it's hats off to these guys. I do want to note something that's kind of interesting about our prize pool here. Both of these guys are already getting a $40 Battle.net card.
Yeah.
So they're really just fighting over a one-of-a-kind Taco custom-etched beer glass. Which is a huge prize.
Which is a huge prize. We can't even get one of these. By the way, the game is just now starting up. It does look like Tom Lincoln is rocking a Secrets Pally.
Yep.
And
we've got a Mage on the other side for Fantomas. I'm not sure what kind yet. Looks like Tempo Mage.
Tempo. I see a Flame Cannon in there. Mana Worm. Frostbolt.
So this looks like a really aggro version of Secrets Pally if he's running Blessing of Might. So I'm guessing he's going to throw away everything but the Mysterious Challenger and hope to draw into Secret Keepers and some other aggressive 1-drops. Avenge is also an interesting keep, but you don't have any early minions to play with it, so I like an Avenge only if I have a few early minions. I know I'm going to get 2 minions on the board within a few turns. But I think you chuck Blessing of Might and Avenge here.
Yeah.
And on the top, Fantomas actually has a nice opening hand to deal with a lot of different things. He's got that Mana Worm. He's got a Frostbolt. And I think you probably just chuck the Azure Drake and the
Flame Cannon.
And the Flame Cannon, right? And just hold on to 1 early removal.
And that's exactly what he did. He got a Water Elemental and an Arcane Missiles.
So these are actually now, looks like 2 fairly strong opening hands.
Yeah.
So I think we see a lot of fireworks early.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, that's exactly what I would like to see and hope to see in a finals.
Yeah, I don't want to see one guy just get unlucky,
Yeah.
and just draw nothing but 4 and 5 drops. So this is going to be a lot of back and forth here in the early game, and where this is really the game's going to probably be decided somewhere around turn 4 or 5. I think whoever can really kind of pull ahead on the board is going to be able to continue to apply pressure with these 2 types of decks.
Yeah, it also depends on what if Tom Lincoln finds his Mysterious Challenger or not by turn 6.
I was surprised he threw it away. I honestly always keep a Mysterious Challenger when I'm playing a Secret Paladin deck because it's so strong on turn 6 that it's worth it. And especially with a deck as aggressive as the one the version he's got, I feel confident enough I'm going to draw enough 1 and 2 drops. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I play the aggressive version of Secret Paladin the same way. So I'm
Yeah.
with you there. But, I mean, it's a tournament game. It's going up against the Mage. Chances are, unless they're playing Freeze Mage, they're going to have a strong board in the early game. It's a risky keep.
yeah, I guess that's true.
And he ended
This
up
is
with a good
definitely the
hand.
correct play to play Haunted Creeper here, by the way, because if he plays Knife Juggler and gets Frost Bolted, he basically loses the game. This allows him to make sure he keeps something on the board.
Yeah.
And then he can take care of this with a Blessing of Might or something like that, depending what he draws.
Yeah, and with a deck like that, you're almost guaranteed, even on turn 3, to get at least one knife juggled out of it if you just hold on to the Knife Juggler. So there's really no need to be over-aggressive with a Knife Juggler with this deck.
You want to get value out of it, and if you just throw it away and it just gets killed with Frostbolt, you basically have no comeback at that point.
Yeah, and
now
now
I think we might see Blessing of Might plus Knife Juggler here, because then that allows him to kind of move it. Although you could throw your 1/1 into this, play Knife Juggler and Redemption, and hope that somehow that makes it stick. But I don't think it will.
Oh, so he's going to opt for
I like this
playing
play too.
Avenge. That's fine, too. One of these guys are going to get 3/2, and it doesn't matter because they're identical, except one's a Ghost Spider.
The problem here, though, is that there's a really, really good answer here for the Mage, which is to play out your Sorcerer's Apprentice, attack one of these with your Mana Worm, and then Frostbolt the other. However, if he thinks it might be Get Down, Noble Sacrifice, then that's actually not going to work. So the fact that it's a secret means it's a little tougher to play. Knowing what we know, that would be the perfect play.
Yeah.
We'll see if he sniffs it out and realizes this is Avenge. The fact that he attacked with the 1/1 and kind of just played 2 creatures and then left them there might be an indicator that it's Avenge. It looks like he did sniff it out. He's making the exact play I just talked about.
Yeah, it's going to be really good for... what are we calling it? Fantomas?
Fantomas? Yeah, sure. Fantomas.
Makes it sound like I'm saying Phantom Ass.
Yeah, we'll go with Fantomas. I think now you have to get the Juggler on board and then just dude and see what happens.
Yeah.
You're really hoping that you get lucky
hit
here.
the... Where's that knife going to land? Oh, that's really unfortunate.
That's really bad, actually.
Yeah.
That might just be it there, because at this point now the Mana Worm's gotten so much value, you don't feel bad running it into this Juggler.
Yeah, and
I would probably choose to keep the... I mean, either way, both of these creatures are going to die. So you just play out your Elemental and kill this Juggler with either one of these minions.
Yeah, and Lincoln is more or less at this point top decking. I mean, look at his hand. It's nothing but spells that need something to go on or...
Yeah. No, he needs to have some minions. This is an issue with this deck. So you need to have minions on board that then you can buff and do the things that you do with this deck to them. But if you can't get something to stick, which is actually tough to do against the Tempo Mage because they have so much removal that costs so little. If you get to this part of the game and you don't have minions, there's just no way to come back. You need to get a really big Divine Favor or something like that, and I don't think that's going to happen, especially not with the hand that Fantomas has.
Yeah.
So he's really trying to figure out if he should ping something here.
Yeah, because if you
play
ping,
this
you
Water
probably...
Elemental.
Yeah, because if you wanted the ping, you probably would have played Mirror Entity first and then traded the Sorcerer's Apprentice. But it looks like he's just going to... It's a very aggressive trade there, but he's not aware, but it's going to work in his favor because...
It was actually the correct move because Blessing of Kings, but he just threw 4 damage away, and I think that's okay because against this type of deck, with the type of deck he's running, you're not really going to win just by bursting them down. You're going to win by controlling the board, keeping the tempo, and then getting to your big finishers like Antonidas and Dr. Boom. So I think Fantomas is playing very well right now.
Yeah, he's been making really good calls, playing safe too.
This is tricky here. Do you play Redemption just to try to keep a 1/1 on the board? I don't think it's going to work at all.
No, I
don't think so. I think you just play
Repentance. We're late enough in the game. I would be pretty confident that I'm going to get some value out of it.
If he plays this, actually either of the minions that Fantomas could play here, they're both very valuable to get
to knock their
health down to 1. Yeah, because they're both tough to remove. Especially for a Paladin that doesn't have things like Flame Cannon, Frostbolt, Fireball, They don't have removal like that, so it's really tough to get rid of the 3/6.
Tom Lincoln is just bricking on his draws here.
That's terrible timing to draw your Silver Champion. I think you have to put the Blessing on this guy, right?
Yeah, you just have to make it stick.
And then you pray that that's not a Spellbender, the secret.
Yeah, which it wasn't, and now he knows.
No. I have heard people saying that they really like Spellbender in the current meta because of the fact that there's so many of these Paladins, and that when they do play their targeted spells, a lot of times you do get value. So you turn your own, you take away their kings, and then you give it to a 1/3, and you get yourself a 5/8 or whatever it is, right? So
yeah,
or 5/7.
That 5/5 is gonna get frost bolted, and we're gonna see where those 2 pings go.
That's good enough. You can finish it off next turn.
Absolutely, and no rush. Although
I don't think there's any real need to trade here. What could you get punished by? I guess you could get punished by a Divine Shield or something like that, but even then, you still have the option to ping and run this 3/1 into it next turn. So I think you just go all face here.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
There's the Mysterious Challenger.
All right. Well, Dr. Six has the potential to bring him back, but I think this board might be a little too far gone. He does, I think I would have opted to play the Redemption first there, just in case. I guess he knows he only has 1 in his deck, but that's what you're going to be playing, so you play it first. So if you did have 2, you didn't get the other one in, and then you can't use it. But
right. So the Christmas tree is in place. So now it's on up to Fantomas to solve the puzzle.
This is an interesting part of this deck, and why I think this deck isn't as good as it was the first few weeks after TGT. People now know what these secrets are and the sequence that they go off in. So if you properly play around them, it's not that difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Although a 9/8 is tough to deal with no matter what. But he did get a free 6/6 because of the mirror entity. So he's got plenty of tools to be able to deal with this. I don't think this is going to be a problem. And unfortunately, it's just not going to turn everything around at this point.
Yeah.
So we've already had the Redemption. Now we get the Get Down. The last secret is Competitive Spirit. So if there's anything left on the board next turn, it will get buffed.
It looks like the only thing left is going to be...
No, I think he's going to...
Actually, no, never mind.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I think that spells the end for Tom Lincoln. I just don't know how he can claw his way back into this game. This is not the old days of Paladin where you could just bank on a quality Consecrate.
No. And also, even things like now a Divine Favor is completely useless because Fantomas has just burned his hand. So.
Yep.
So now he's just hoping I can get a board of 1/1s out there and maybe something sticks and I get some value next turn. But, oh, wow, now he's got Antonidas. Now, here's the question. Do you slam Antonidas with nothing else in your hand?
You don't have to. I feel like that's
You don't have to, but I'm wondering why you wouldn't.
Yeah, you're sitting behind 2 mirror entities or mirror images that are going to soak up all of these tokens. What are you?
He's going to be able to kill
about
3 of the 4 tokens as well.
Right.
If he wants to. And then a 2/2, it will be a 2/2 with Competitive Spirit. If he doesn't play it, though, the merit of that is that he can actually ping off the last one and kill the entire board of 1/1s. But you might just want to go face here. Play Archmage Antonidas, maybe kill one of them with a 2/4. Maybe kill 2 of them just to prevent ease of getting through both of your mirror images. And then just hit one face to freeze the... Yeah, I think that's the play. You want to freeze face here if you can.
Oh, absolutely. But
no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
No, he just really wants to get rid of those tokens. Wants to deny as much competitive spirit value as he can.
Which honestly I'm okay with, and there's the dead Divine Favor. There's just no value that can come out of Divine Favor anymore.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I mean, at this point, he's so far ahead on board. The only way he loses is a quality Consecrate, and then terrible draws from there.
So the only way
not in this deck.
The only way he loses if he's not playing against this type of Paladin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he doesn't lose to this type of Paladin at this point with this board. So
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and call this one. I think we got like a 99% chance that. Wow, Fantomas is even doing the BM well played. Mind games.
Reporting for duty.
He's gonna equip the True Silver Champion.
What do you even kill here? I guess nothing because you already attacked, right? So,
right.
Yeah, okay, you just equip it and hold on. No real need to Flame Strike here, but I guess you assert dominance and just go ahead and wipe everything and turn it into a fireball. Not bad.
It's also safe to assume if he didn't play a minion last turn, those 2 cards are not minions.
Yeah, no, and you can also get him down to 3 health. So there's just really there's no coming back here.
Yeah.
So game 1's gonna go to Fantomas, and that means his Mage will be off the table.
Well played.
I think Tom Lincoln is just this is a finals. Make sure that there's not like something you can do before you concede. I think that's that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was rough for Tom Lincoln. They both had really strong opening hands, but Tom
Yes.
just drew really poorly afterwards.
So there was a couple of moments too. He got good luck on his first arcane missiles to actually remove the 1/1 with Divine Shield, and then he also played perfectly around that first Avenge secret, where he was able to remove it so cleanly that once he got that board lead, he was just never relinquished it. And that's what Tempo Mage does so well.
Yeah, and we're going into game 2 already. It looks like Tom Lincoln's going to stick with that secret pally, and Fantomas it is a patron warrior.
Yep. So here we go. We're gonna see some sweet esports here. This is actually so Divine Favor is actually really good if you can sniff out that this is patron warrior, because they do end up drawing so much early in the game. So if you could dump your hand, put a bunch of pressure, and then get a big Divine Favor, maybe 5 or 6 cards, then you can run over patron before they can set up their big combo. If that doesn't happen, if he if he stumbles a little bit on some of his draws here, and Fantomas actually does get some of his Fiery War Axe and some of the early removal and is able to deal with the board, he'll have a lot more time to sit back, draw the cards, and set up the combo, and then there's really no stopping them. But this is an interesting matchup. I don't necessarily think it's 100% favored in the patron way, but it's a tough matchup for the Secrets Pal. You got to draw well, and you got to play like I said. You got to get a big Divine Favor and just really take over the game.
Yeah, and Tom Lincoln just decides to keep his whole hand. It looks like Fantomas as well.
That's interesting. I mean, I see the curve. I think I might have dumped the Blessing of Kings though to try to get another minion, but this is okay too.
I'd have been really tempted to drop the patron as Thomas, but it is an important key.
It is, but I think so. When I play Patron Warrior, I prefer to draw into things like the patron. If I can keep the patron if I already have, say, like Death's Bite and Inner Rage, and then I know on turn 5 I'm going to get like that big patron turn. But without that, I'd much rather just have things like Acolyte of Pain, Fiery War Axe, all of my early draw elements and stuff.
Yeah. Draws an Avenge.
So he actually, with Divine Favor in his hand, does not care. I'm Tom Lincoln about the draw from this Acolyte. So I could definitely see him just doing something like Keeper, Avenge, Face. Or I guess he's considering coining into Blessing of Kings here, which is not a bad play either. But I'd kind of like to just go with the dump cards out of my hand type of gameplay here and let the warrior draw cards.
Yeah,
just try to get set up for a huge Divine Favor.
Looks like that's not what he's going to be doing.
This is okay. I mean, this puts so much pressure on that I'm totally okay with this too. I think this is a very powerful move. But if there is a way to remove this, then you really regret it.
Yeah, that's good too, though, because he's still letting the warrior draw cards, but he got maximum damage in while he could.
Yeah. No, this 6/6 shielded mini bot has the potential to do like 18 damage over the next 3 turns.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to remove. He's going to have to draw into something like an Execute. I think Shield Block is the correct. I don't think that you want to Death's Bite this, take another 6 damage.
No.
So I think you just need to try to draw into something here.
Yeah, and looking at Thomas's hand, it's he just has no answer for this mini bot at the moment.
No, so the one merit that I could see to playing out the Death Bite is that you can start making patrons the next turn. However, you're basically deciding that you're going to take 12 more damage.
Oh, draws his second patron.
That
is a cluttered hand.
Yeah. So right now, Tom Lincoln is firmly, I think, in the driver's seat here. I see no problem with playing out your Juggalo now. Drop the Knife Juggalo, drop a Haunted Creeper, keep going face.
Absolutely.
If you could just continue to apply the pressure, the patron will never have time to sit back and really get that combo going. But he's going to go for double Haunted Creeper and just make sure his board is solid next turn.
I don't disagree with that.
No, I think that's totally fine as well. Again, no answer now for the 6/6. He's going to hope he does something here with this Acolyte. Oh, a Brawl.
Get a Brawl, yeah.
That's something.
That is something.
Okay. I mean, there's a pretty good here's the thing, though. You're still going to end up with a board full of 1/1s.
There's still going to be 4 1/1s on the board.
However, that's not that bad when you're playing Patron.
No.
I mean, he does have a Warsong Commander and a bunch of patrons in his turn or in his hand. He's just 3 turns away from being able to take advantage.
Well,
of
that's
that.
actually the worst case scenario because if we end up with 4/1/1s, that means a 6/6 lived.
Oh, that's a good point.
So he's hoping that one of the
he wants 2 1/1s and 1/2.
and 1/1/2 with the death rattle.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's the
okay.
outcome.
That is the best possible outcome.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I don't see a lot of patrons running Brawl, but I think it's an okay. I think it's good in like a tournament setting where there are certain decks that you're just going to fall way behind against. And there's a great draw.
Challenger. Yeah, that's exactly what he wanted to see.
So he's going to go for the Divine Favor now, which is going to be, what, 5 cards?
Yes.
2, 3, 4. It might be 6.
Look up value in the
yeah. So
in
3
the
mana
dictionary.
draws 6.
And he
Not
only
bad.
And he only drew 2 secrets, which isn't terrible. I mean, in a perfect world, you don't want to draw any, especially with a Mysterious Challenger in your hand going into turn 6. But
he does have 3 secrets in hand, but I think that's fine because at least one of them there's 2 of in the deck. Actually, I think, no, 2 of them there's 2 of. The Avenge and the Noble Sacrifice, there should be another one in his deck.
out comes
So yeah,
the
here,
Death Bite.
clear the Death Bite. And he will be able to make a fairly big board of patrons next turn. It's probably right to just kill the Juggalo and armor up. He goes in the odd order that I always see on ladder that makes me think like a warrior is a newer player when they armor up before they attack. But in this case, it means nothing. It doesn't change the outcome at all.
Am I missing some? Oh, yeah, no, never mind. Never mind. It's the Death Bite.
If he was playing a deck that was running shield slams, then maybe it would kind of matter. But
Yeah.
I don't see any reason not to play the Mysterious Challenger here. Do you?
No, I don't either.
I don't. He's pouring over his hand right now, but there's no other option.
Yeah, there it is. There's a Redemption, Avenge, Competitive Spirit, and Noble Sacrifice.
So the issue here for Fantomas is that there is a get down now, or Noble Sacrifice, sorry, that's going to prevent him from actually being able to, because if that wasn't there, he could hit the 6/6 with the weapon, then enter Rage to finish it off. But since that's going to go ahead and block that attack, I think his only real opportunity, like, I think he just has to do Patron, enter Rage as Patron, attack into the get down, armor up, and hope he doesn't die next turn.
Yeah, which is that never feels good. Like, and this is exactly how Secret Paladin wins against Patron. You get so much pressure in the early game that you never let the Patron Warrior get to turn 8.
Well, the other issue too is the Patron Warrior needs to kind of get the big hand early and then also get the Emperor Thorson out, and then you just have that much cheaper, much more powerful combo, and that also never happens. So,
and you have to drop down the Acolyte of Pain instead of a Patron.
Yeah, he might be hoping to draw into an Execute, which I think is. I get this. He has a very full hand, so he does also have a Battle Rage, so he will be able to Battle Rage, and he won't be completely out of mana to be able to use what he draws into.
Yeah. Oh, but he ropes.
And he roped. He took too long to figure it all out. And
never mind. Never mind. This is spectator mode. Why show us the correct things? He did draw an Execute. Let's see if he.
But he didn't play the Execute because
No,
the Pit of Spirit just went off. So
yeah,
he missed the Execute, and that's game.
Concedes. That's a tough way to end a game.
So that evens the match now, 1-1.
Yeah.
This is why Patron isn't such a big problem on the ladder, though, right? There's very complicated turns, and you pretty much have to start making them early. You can't sit there and think them through because you rope. There's so many and also against Secret Paladin, there's a ton of animations with those secrets. So he just needed to start making that play. If he was going to do something like that, a speculative turn where he was going to draw cards and see what he drew, he had to start that much earlier.
Yeah, immediately. And looks like we're going directly into Game 3. Hunter versus Patron Warrior. We'll see what type of Hunter here in a second. Looks like probably a mid-range.
This looks very mid. It could be a beast version with the snake trap, but I'm just guessing like a mid range that just runs a snake trap is kind of a surprise, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it gives you one more little outlet to activate your kill command.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. And if he's running things like Houndmaster and stuff, snake trap is pretty good. Obviously, too, snake trap is very good with knife juggalo. So, all right. So this is actually a decent matchup for the Hunter. If you're going to talk about matchups that are decent against Patron, Hunter is another one that can put the pressure on.
Yeah.
So Once you get like something like a Savannah Highmane on the board on turn 6, the patron just has to have a really nice, easy answer that's going to clean it right up, or the patron's just going to start getting hit in the face for 6 every turn.
Yeah.
He did draw the War Axe this time, though, so this is the big difference between this game and last game. He is going to be able to clean up all the early stuff here.
Yeah, it's going to look like, it's basically just going to look like a control warrior for the beginning stages of this game. And he has the Despite, so he's got so many answers.
Oh, a power shot. That's interesting.
That is very interesting. I'm going to have to read that. I haven't seen one in a while. Deal
what does this do again? It's like a mini explosive shot.
That's exactly what it's like. I came up against one hunter this week that had a power shot, and I did not see it coming, and he did end up winning the game.
So I don't agree with this attack, but I guess it's okay since you probably are equipping Despite next turn. But I don't know. I would be okay with keeping that as an option, and then deciding whether I don't mind overriding the second half of my War Axe in that scenario. You know, I just rather keep the option, but it is okay too.
Do you agree with the silence of the Acolyte right there?
I think so. There's not much else you're going to silence, honestly, in the patron deck, and denying card draw is really huge against patrons. So I'm totally okay with that. Do you mind hovering over that secret so we can see what that is?
No, not at all. That is a snake trap.
That's a snake trap. Okay.
So
I wouldn't silence it if it was a freezing trap, because with a freezing trap, basically you're just giving him an Acolyte to play later that he's already gotten one draw off of. So in that case, I would not agree with it. But in this case, I think it's okay.
As a spectator, I'm so tempted to start playing with the widgets on the next Ramus map.
You can, as a spectator.
I know. I can close this and I can open it back up.
Nerf spectator mode. Don't allow people to close and open the thing. So we were talking before about spectator mode is still pretty much what we got when they first put it out, right? There are a few bugs with it, but you know, we're also very happy that Blizzard did put this out, because this is so much easier than what we used to have to do.
So Fantomas just attack face for 1, so he knows it's not freezing trap. He knows it's not bear trap.
He pretty much at this point knows it's exactly snake trap.
Yep.
And that's once you know it's snake trap is not good anymore. Like, basically snake trap loses all value once it's found out.
Yeah.
Especially against a deck that runs 6 whirlwind effects.
Looks like I'm just going to start calling him Thomas. Looks like he's about to drop Armor Smith. He's considering it.
He might be thinking about doing something like Armor Smith and Unstable Ghoul. You're basically throwing away one of your effects, but actually, okay, so here's an interesting play. You play Armor Smith now, and you just armor up. And then you expect that you'll probably be seeing the 5/5 attacking the 1/4, and then the next turn you clean up the 5/5 with your Despite, and then you set up for a big turn after that. I really would like him to get the Despite into play and have it be ready to give that Whirlwind effect, especially since he has Patrons in his hand and he has Emperor Thaurissan already. But he opts to go ahead and play that Unstable Ghoul. He does have is that a Battle Rage up there on the top left, or is that a Slam?
That's in the top left, that's a Slam.
That's a Slam, okay.
Or top right, I guess. Oh, yeah, it's flipped for you.
Yeah. Yes.
For me, it is top right.
Because if that was a Battle Rage, then this play is kind of interesting too, because you could also kind of guarantee that you're going to get 2 draws again next turn with a Battle Rage. I feel like with the...
He's got a Hunter's Mark,
the
Armor
in my
Smith.
hand. Yeah, Hunter's Mark on the 1/4.
He's going to quick shot the Unstable Ghoul and get through to face for 5 damage, which will technically be 4 because of the...
Well, I think this is actually going to end up meaning that the Lotheb is going to do 10 damage. So he's just going to go ahead and go for the YOLO face thing here, which I guess I would be more comfortable making this type of line, like choosing this line of play if I had both kill commands in my hand. With only 1 and no other direct damage, this is pretty YOLO. We'll see if it works out for him.
That it is.
So here he can actually do, if he had the coin, he could do... Oh, he does have the coin. So he could do Inner Rage, Whirlwind, and then execute the Lotheb.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
So this is a really, really powerful response to... when you see a hunter do something like that, you kind of assume they have stuff like double kill command in hand. So you really want to like make a big surge back and try to just end the game as quickly as possible, right?
Yeah. And now look at Fantomas' side of the board. I mean, you're staring down 4 patrons, one of which is up to 5 health or 5 attack. And
well, this is interesting play here. He can actually clear this entire board with power shot, Hunter's Mark, and Kill Command, which is also like really powerful back. But you're giving up your Kill Command, which is your 5 damage to the face, one of your win conditions.
But he does have him down to 15. One of the armor smiths is already completely gone.
Yeah. But, Patron still has a lot of, potential to come back and wreck you. But I don't think you can just leave 4 patrons on the board. If you have a way to clean this all up, I think you just take it.
Yeah.
Even leaving 1 patron on board is too much. And I think I would have Kill Commanded that patron. There's way too many ways that he could take this 1 patron and turn it into 4 more, right?
Absolutely.
So he might be doing... Okay,
hand,
this is interesting.
So, yeah, I mean, he could... If you really wanted to get in for 6, I guess he could slam his own guy with the Warsong Commander on board.
Well, he can play Warsong Commander, Slam, and Unstable Ghoul, and so then he hides behind another Whirlwind effect with 2 patrons already in play.
Yeah, and this is what you're talking about. He's being punished for Tom Lincoln's being punished for not kill commanding that last patron.
Yeah, if he had kill commanded that last patron, though, the issue would be that you'd see the Thorson just come right out, right? And then how would you deal with the Thorson? Although he still doesn't, like, the Ram Wrangler is not a beast in and of itself. Right?
No, I mean, Dr. Boom, does it help?
It's good still.
You're praying that the bombs don't do more damage than they help you by pinging patrons for not lethal.
I think he has to play it though. Like,
I don't see any other play here, but it doesn't.
Well, he could kill command the Warsong Commander to just get that out of here, right? And then basically do that, and then shoot the face, and then maybe try Dr. Boom on the next turn where there's no Warsong Commander. I think that's also potentially a viable play. But I don't know. Is that a winning play? You're throwing away a bunch of your face damage. I think I feel like that one turn where you used Quick Shot on an Unstable Ghoul was really just it moved him down a path that he didn't have the cards to support. You know what I mean? Like, his hand didn't support a play that would basically said, like, I'm going to get you down to 15 and try to finish you off really soon. And now you can see, like, the Kill Command has become like a dead card in his hand.
Yeah. And so is the Ram Wrangler. They're both. He has no beasts. He's really now. Hopefully here the Snake Trap will be triggered. Well.
If it does, it's bad.
That's true.
Continue to make patrons with it. So he's considering whether he can afford to take this 7 damage right now and use the Despite to the 7/7. I think you might want to just slam a Boombot first. See what happens here. Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and do a Boombot first. Just kind of, you want to get like the lay of the land. If you can get rid of all of the attacking creatures here.
Where's this bomb going to go is my question. And what's it going to do? Oh, wow, that's terrible. That is, that's some tough stuff right there.
It's very close. Not quite. But he's just gonna say, I don't think you can kill me.
What is he shield slamming? Oh, the boom.
Okay. Oh. How much damage is this now? So this is 10. He's got 15. He can attack 3 times into the Unstable Ghoul with his 1/1s. The boom bottle hits somewhere. Then it's 7. This is
lethal. He wins. Yep. Yeah, Tom Lincoln just top decked lethal.
First he has to kill command face twice though, because he won't have a beast anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no, don't do this! You're gonna lose your beast! Please kill command first.
No.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
Oh, the possible misplay.
It's actually still lethal whether even if he messes this up, it's still lethal.
Oh, it is.
That's 10-13, yeah.
Okay.
But I was gonna, for a second there, I was like, oh jeez. No, but he's good. He's good. Okay. Double kill command at 3 is still fine.
That's right.
So this is just BM, essentially.
Yeah. So it still wouldn't have been though had that bomb not hit him and removed the armor.
Actually, that's a very good point. If the bomb hadn't hit for 2 and removed that armor, he would have still had. Actually, no, he would have been because he would have still had hero power. So.
Oh, you're right.
He had
right.
it. He had it.
Okay. The question was that an intentional BM?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he got really lucky there though that he did draw into that second kill command, and that because if he had used those patrons to remove the Dr. Boom, so that was a slight misplay there at Fantomas' part. Once he got the extra patron, he really should have just used it to remove Dr. Boom, right? Take that 7 damage off, and then you leave a bunch of 1/1s that can't get through your unstable ghoul. And you still get him down fairly low. You'd still get him to a certain point where you'd have basically lethal the next turn, right? But once he decided to not just kill Dr. Boom and hope that Dr. Boom wouldn't be able to get through, Dr. Boom's 7 damage got through, and that was enough. So slight misplays on both guys' part there, but it is the finals. There's a lot of pressure, and of course, this is a taco. Anybody can play. Like, anybody can play. I loved seeing some of the deck choices that people were making. People were tweeting at me that they were playing Milkshake in this tournament and stuff like that. And I like that that's the kind of the landscape that you get in a tournament like this.
Yeah, looks like we're going into, what is this now, Game 4?
Game 4. So Tom Lincoln is on match point here.
Yep.
He's won one more game, and he's got himself a Tempo Mage as well. Tempo Mage is actually fairly decent as well against Patron because, again, if you could take care of the early stuff, get a big board lead, you do put a lot of pressure on. Yeah. And you can always kind of win with Antonidas at any point. So
Flamewaker can be a little awkward in this matchup, however, because it does have only the 2 attack, which spawns more patrons, and then it's kind of scary if you start getting pings off of it. It makes you second guess every spell that you cast.
So I'm curious if this is a mech mage with flame wakers, or if this is a tempo mage running clockwork gnomes for the spare parts to then give you more spells to play later.
That I would assume it's the latter.
Yeah, I'm guessing that as well. I think clockwork gnome is totally fine in this deck, and I don't see the ability to mix and match mech stuff too well. Throw in things like flame wakers and make it work. So
yeah, that's decent. You get to drop a minion on turn 1 and turn 2 unstable portal if Tom Lincoln doesn't draw into something better.
Yeah, no, he's actually got options. If something comes down, he can flame cannon it, and if not, that means that he has time to unstable portal and try to draw esports, see what he gets. So is Fantomas, I'm not sure what he's thinking he's going to do here. I mean, you could coin out the unstable ghoul, but I don't like that at all. You're basically trading an unstable ghoul for a clockwork gnome and a ping, and that's just such a valuable card later.
Yeah.
I think I just sit on this. I'm okay with taking the 2 damage to the face because I do have Battle Rage in hand if I'm Fantomas. And then next turn you can do something like coin into Acolyte.
Yeah.
So I really disagree. If he coins this on stage, like this to me is just not having the patience that you really do kind of have with a deck like Patron.
Yeah.
With Patron, you can swing the board back in your favor almost at any moment once you kind of set those pieces up. So don't want to be so reactive to a 2/1 on turn 1.
Yeah, and Fantomas has plenty of armor out here, although he's doing it. He's coining out the unstable ghoul.
Okay. This to me means, I think I just go ahead and attack into it and ping it. Flame cannon is just wasted here because it's still going to kill you 2/1.
Yeah.
And I really don't like leaving it on board because, then next turn there's all sorts of weird things that can happen with Patron. Sure, he's only got 2 mana next turn, but I just like getting rid of whirlwind effects as soon as I can against patrons.
I'm right there with you.
And also, he sets up for a mana worm into unstable portal turn on turn 3, which I think is pretty good. So
yeah.
So this did a couple things to Fantomas. It took away a fairly decent turn 2 play where he could have coined out the Acolyte. Now he's just armoring up. Yep. And he's armoring up against his Battle Rage, which means it's going to be harder for him to get value out of that later. So I kind of got all screwed up for him.
Yeah, now Tom Lincoln's going to press his better state here.
Button.
Yeah, press the esports button, see what he gets. Yep. And he gets a Bolf Shield. Who I, again, don't even remember this card. 3/9.
The most metal card in all of Hearthstone. Bolf Ram Shield. This card is terrible, but when you can play it for 3 mana, I think it's pretty good.
It's a 3/9 for 3.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fantastic.
He's actually got an option here to play Balf Ramshield and Rusty Hornet, and then, you know, you've got a 3/9 Taunter.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Not bad at all.
And then you've got a minion that, like, even if it eats the execute, that means, like, it's 3 mana and an 8-up and execute. Like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, totally. Totally fine with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, actually, yeah, you play out Balf Ramshield, you Rusty Hornet, and then you go ahead and just trade after you play this Mirror Entity. You go ahead and trade and get rid of the Acolyte. But he's instead going to go for the Azure Drake, which I'm also okay with. But the problem I have with Azure Drake is that just dies to a Deathbite if that's in the hand of the Patron Warrior.
Yeah, which at the moment it is not, but Tom Lincoln doesn't know that.
No, exactly. With imperfect information, well, the Execute would have punished him with the Balf play, I guess, too. So
That's true.
there's merits both ways.
Yeah. So he did get his execute, so he's going to execute.
He's going to execute a
Drake.
Drake, which, I really disagree with. You only have 2 executes in your deck, and you need to use them on. There's much more dangerous minions in a Tempo Mage's deck.
We're looking at a golden one of them right now in Tom Lincoln's hand. He's got a golden Dr. Boom.
You got Dr. Boom, you got Antonitis. There's potentially things like Ragnaros sometimes in these decks.
Yeah.
There's just some very scary stuff, and I don't think you can really flippantly just throw out your executes. Now, again, he didn't have necessarily like a perfect answer to it, but you have time. You're at 33 health. You don't need to be like completely overreactive to everything on the board. You kind of got to set up, take your time, and get to like a really big turn. So it's just different styles of playing this deck, and not necessarily one is definitely right or definitely wrong. But I prefer to play it a little bit more cautious, I guess you could say.
Out comes Balf Ramshield and a Mirror Entity.
So this will soak up quite a bit of damage now that the Execute is gone. The Execute also totally paved the way for Balf here.
Yeah. How amazing would it be if you got to Mirror Entity a patron?
That would actually be pretty good. When you're playing Mage, you can actually ping
it,
your own
and
patrons.
then if they stay on the board, you know, Fantomas would have to be concerned about his own whirlwind effects.
Yep.
Helping Tom Lincoln's patrons.
So this is weird. What you do here is you actually play the Deathbite, and then you just go everything face. Balf takes the damage, but your minions don't take the damage back, right?
Right.
So this is actually like the negative effect of Balf, is that sure he's got all that health and stuff, but you see he's not doing his 3 damage to everything. He's taking damage, and he's not dishing it. And now you've essentially you've got a 3/2 that's just going to trade into a 2/2. So
yeah, it's awkward. It's very awkward.
Although, it's all right though. He only paid 3 mana for it. Well, 5 mana, I guess, over 2 turns.
Over 2 turns, yeah, and a card.
Sure. I don't see a reason not to Dr. Boom here, right?
I very rarely find reasons not to Dr. Boom.
Yeah. If you hold back Dr. Boom, what are your other options here? You could kill the... Oh. Okay, so he's going to take the value trade here, and then he's going to... Oh my, interesting. And he's going to freeze... This is actually an interesting line of play here. He's going to freeze the face and prevent the Deathbite usage.
I like this. I like this quite a bit.
I think if I do this, though, I play the Mad Scientist, and I don't think I play... The ping is fine, too, but I don't think I put a Rusty Horn on... I don't want to put a Rusty Horn on my Flame Waker ever.
Yeah, and not with the Dr. Boom in hand.
No.
Got a great target next turn.
You want to protect your Flame Waker is value. You don't want to... You don't want to taunt that.
You don't want to put a giant red target on its face.
No, absolutely not. So with the face being frozen, actually, this turn becomes incredibly awkward now. He really has no real play.
No.
I think it's armor pass. And then hope that you can do something cool with patrons next turn.
And exactly what you mentioned at the very beginning of the game. Armoring up when you haven't taken damage makes that Battle Rage a dead card.
Yep. Yeah. If he had actually just let that 2 damage come in at the very beginning, he would have been damaged for the rest of the game.
Yep.
So at any point, he would have been able to Battle Rage for 1 extra card.
Yeah. Now, do you Rusty Horn your Boom, or do you Mirror Image?
I think what you do is you Rusty Horn your Balf, and you force him to attack Balf.
I like
attack Balf or execute it, which means you used execute on Balf.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that's the play. Mirror Image is just more minions on board, and
I don't hate Mirror Image going into turn 8 against a patron because they can Warsong Commander plus patron, and then the patron isn't going to get damage from the Mirror Image.
Yeah, but okay, there is a scenario here where if you play Mirror Image, you actually just die to Warsong Commander. Oh, actually, no, he'd have to have 9 mana. Sorry.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough mana, and Thorson hasn't come into play.
Because I was thinking of double frothing with a couple Whirlwinds, but no, he'd have to have more mana. So
yeah.
Actually, Mirror Image is okay here, but I still like Rusty. So he chooses nothing. He just ropes out.
Ends up roping out. Yeah. Curious what happened there.
All right. Well, this is kind of what you just have to do. You don't really care about this. Definitely, I want to start running patrons into things before I attack with my Despite, because I want to make as many patrons to soak these bomb hits as I can.
Absolutely.
So yeah, two into those guys, then 1 into the Warsong Commander, and then actually, so I think now you actually hit a Boombot too.
That's
you will
exactly
need. You want to try to get this Whirlwind.
So where's this bomb gonna go? Bomb goes face for 2.
See, the problem is if you fill your board up, though, you're actually not getting as much value from... Oh. Bomb kills, yeah.
That was the best case scenario for that second bomb for Tom, but...
I actually think, too, here, he kind of screws up. He needs to run that 3-3, the last one that had charge, into Dr. Boom before the attack to ensure that he gets one more spot for a patron. I think he might have gotten one less patron than he was supposed to. Well, still a very strong turn.
Yeah.
All things being, equal, that was a very strong turn.
Yeah, and he played it out very well. He didn't rope. He was being very decisive, which is something you have to do when you're playing Patron Warrior.
Yeah, and unless some stuff gets removed here, he will be able to set up a pretty nice... He's got double Battle Rage, actually, next turn, so he's going to draw a lot of stuff. You can ping 1, Flame Cannon the 50-50, and hope that you kill the 3-3. And then... And then maybe play, but see, I prefer, I think, actually just, let's make a couple fireballs here. I think I'd like to just go with Archmage, Mirror Image, and then Rusty Horn, one of your already taunted guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah, end up with 2 fireballs in your hand and a large minion that the patrons will not get to copy themselves off of.
Well, yeah, and also 2 0-2 taunters. That means it's going to be tough for him to get through and actually kill this Antonidas. What we know... And I think, have we seen both execute? We've seen 1 execute. Yeah. But we know there's not another execute in the hand right now of Fantomas. Right. Did we lose Tom Lincoln? I want to shoot Tom Lincoln a message because he roped last turn and now he just completely passed.
That's a good point.
So I think we lost Tom Lincoln, which is really bad.
I'm also not seeing him. I think he disconnected.
Yeah, that's terrible. All right, so we should message both of these guys and see how they want to handle this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the tournament rules are on this.
Yeah, I would actually have to look that up.
I don't know if there was one guy in a winning position here, honestly, because with double Fireball in hand, I don't think you could say for sure this game was definitely going one way or another.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to crack open our rules.
Yeah, let's crack open the rules here and see what's up.
Yeah, which...
I really wouldn't like the finals to be decided like this. Although, Tom Lincoln is up 2-1. This wouldn't decide the match, but... kind of just... There's really no way to come back with a completely skipped turn.
Our official rules are as follows. If your opponent disconnects from a game, the player who remains counts as the winner for that game. If your opponent reconnects, continue with the next game. You are not allowed to reuse the deck you've won with due to the DC, because it does count as winning with that deck.
All right, well he's back, so I guess we just let them play it out.
Yeah.
He's still not completely out of it. I mean, he's going to make 3 fireballs here.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to make 2 fireballs, and he drew another, so... Now, I guess the question is this game over? So he can attack twice. He can slam execute this, but I don't think he actually has lethal. Because he still hasn't drawn
a Berserker.
Frothings.
No, but I mean, he's got so many tools. He's got another Warsong Commander. He has 4 patrons on board. He has an unstable portal in hand.
Yeah, he's going to get 8 damage through now. He can actually play Thorson and get 2 big combo pieces lower. He's going to play the Acolyte and just try to draw into those Frothings, because that's really all he's missing right now.
Yeah, things are
But
looking...
so 12, 18 damage in hand. Opponent's at 33. I don't think there's really a way for the Tempo Mage to finish this off.
If only he had Bolf Ram Shield still on the board right now. Soak up some of these hits.
Yeah, Bolf is gone. No more Metal Rock God. Bolf Ram Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, you can't even play these Mad Scientists out, really. And you have to now expend a Fireball on a 5/5. I mean, you can Fireball the 5/5, ping off a 3/1, Fireball the 5/2. You can live a turn, but you've basically thrown all of your win conditions out the door.
Yeah. We're sitting on 7 armor, 24 health. I think Fantomas is... I think he has this in the bag.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much over. Oh, he's actually at 31. I said 33 health earlier. He's at 31 right now. This is lethal, right? Because he got the Fiery War Axe as well?
Yep.
All right. So, unfortunately, we did have a disconnect during that game, but the rules are kind of set up, I think, in a tournament like this just to deal with issues like this quickly and without a lot of, like, figuring it all out, you know? If it was another way, we'd have to go back and, like, say, okay, well, do we think he was in a winning position or not?
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate. This has happened to me famously in the finals. I talked about it on the Angriest Chicken against Chalky, where I disconnected and got to win.
Yeah, that was like right after it went out of beta.
Yeah. So stuff like this does happen. It's a game that's played online. You know, it's not a LAN event, so it's too bad. But we are going to game number 5, and it is now tied up 2-2.
Yeah. And for some reason, I can't edit my XSplit. Which is an issue.
Perfect. All right, Garrett's DC'd as well. This is a fantastic opening hand for a Tempo Mage, by the way.
Yeah.
You got both removals, and you got a way to make them cheaper, and you got your guy that gets buffed off of these removals. So I think you just keep this whole hand, and he does. I'm not sure what this is up here. It's possible that this is just a hand lock. We are seeing the Sun Fury Protector, but you know, something like Thaurissan means it could also be like a Malagos kind of combo lock where you try to make some of your spells cheaper. So we're have to see some of the other cards first before we know.
If I'm quiet is because I'm getting concerned because I'm getting a Windows pinwheel of death on XSplit right now, and I'm worried that we're losing it.
Oh no. Well, we won't lose it for 10 minutes on stream.
Yeah.
If you do like stop the stream and restart, you know, I don't know how that works with a delay. I'm not sure if it just shuts it right off or if it continues. Okay, so this does look to be like a demon hand lock, essentially, with Malagos. So
I'm going to just leave it alone and hope that it's still recording.
All right. I mean, we're still live. I'm still seeing the overlay and all that.
Yeah.
Although the score is 2-2. So
it is 2-2. It currently says 2-1. Oh, yeah, if you're still seeing it, that's probably a good a good sign.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm still seeing it, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the Manworm opener, and it's interesting. Do you just Dark Bomb this Manworm? When you have Hellfire in hand, I think you can afford to just tap here.
I think so too. If it gets out of hand, it's not like it's going to be gaining health. Hopefully, everything's gonna work out in your favor. If it gets out of hand.
The Manworm opener to me often says, I have a Frostbolt. And if you don't play a creature, there's nothing to Frostbolt. So the next turn will probably just be like something like, you know, Sorcerer's Apprentice or something like that. Or Mad Scientist or something. So I think you can afford to just...
Tom Lincoln pulls a 3-drop, you could coin and we'll buff the mana worm. But Fantomas goes ahead and Dark Bombs it.
Well, Fantomas has proven that he's a very cautious player, and he prefers to just remove things. So... Yeah. You know, I'm a player who says I'm going to try to get value out of
pulls the second Dark Bomb,
and he just blows that. It's just weird because you have Hellfire, right? So you can take care of all of these in one card and then still be tapping every turn and picking up cards. And now a Piloted Shredder, he might be just Hellfiring the first half of a Piloted Shredder,
which feels kind of bad.
It does feels bad, man. And the problem is, so now again, he hasn't been tapping, so now he gets to this turn where he has a Twilight Drake, and it's going to be really weak.
Yeah, this is Very awkward place for a handlock to be.
Yeah. Yeah, handlock's got to play things a little bit slower. So here I think you're going to see Flame Cannon ping. That's going to clean that up right away because it's only a Yeti. It's a turn 4 Yeti. And Twilight Drake has the potential sometimes to be things like a 4-9 or 4-10 on turn 4 when they come out.
Absolutely. Been playing a lot of handlock today, and my Twilight Drakes have just been amazing for turn 4 plays.
So here, Ironbeak Owling this is okay, but I think I don't want to spend a card because, again, now I've drawn my Mountain Giant, and I won't be able to play this Mountain Giant on turn 6 if I play this Owl right now.
No, and he will not be able to. He'll be able to Thorison, which isn't terrible.
That's not a bad play, but it's not as good as an 8/8, I think.
No, and here we're going to get the Owl removed probably for free unless you have the most unlucky Flamewaker in the world. There it goes. He ends up getting a tiny Knight of Evil from his unstable portal.
He basically drew a 2-mana card, meaning that it was 0 value, right? But still fine. 2-mana 2/2.
Still okay.
Yeah. Or 2-mana 3/2, sorry.
He's not falling behind by any means. Things are looking good for Tom Lincoln. Fantomas is finally starting to look like a handlock, looking at his hand.
Yeah, it's just I'm just a little bit disappointed in the lack of patience so far, and I think it's actually it's biting him right now because he's not able to do what handlock does. Right, he's not able to get out these massive threats once he gets to turn 4, and instead he's played a very he's played a game where he's continued to clear the board very well, but he's still slightly behind.
Yeah,
and his threats are now just stuck in his hand.
And how does he get back into this? Now, it's handlock. He's probably running heal bots. He hasn't drawn his Molten Giants yet, but there is a lot of damage done to Fantomas, so he will be able to get those Mountain Giants out should he draw them.
He's not. Yeah, like handlock is never really out of it, right? So at any moment he can get double Molten Giant and taunt them both up out on the board.
Well, there's
just something that can't be dealt with, right?
I mean, there's something that's still awkward though. He pulls the Void Caller, which is good. He has Mal'Ganis in hand, but if you play it, what do? You have 3 remaining mana, no
tap.
cards to play. You have to tap, which brings you down to 14.
I'm okay with being at 14. Look, you're handlock. You gotta get you can't be scared of tapping. You can't be scared of your health getting low. And when you play scared of your health getting low, you make suboptimal plays.
Yeah, he's really looking like he wants to play Thorison here, but I'm not really sure what he's hoping to do there. I mean, next turn he'll be able to play both the Void Caller, the Defender of Argus, and still tap. But
yeah, but I think I'd rather tap this turn and just drop my Void Caller and try to get my free Mal'Ganis.
Yeah.
He needs to start getting threats on the board, and he needs to start doing that now. And if you're going to play the Void Caller, you tap first. It would really shock me if he doesn't tap at all on this turn.
And so he's prepared to be shocked, Gills.
He keeps going with these plays that just feel like he's scared to get low, and I don't think that's a very good strategy right now. So here you might actually fireball this 5/5, just because you can use your Flame Cannon with Antonidas soon and turn it into another fireball.
Yeah. You're not afraid of losing your fireballs with Antonidas in hand, but Tom Lincoln opts to just freeze Thorison instead, and then go ahead and destroy him with the Mad Scientist. What secret did he get? He got another Mirror Entity. That's
another play. I don't think I agree. I think if I was going to use one of my two mana removals, I would use the Flame Cannon there, because Frostbolt goes face, and that's burn to the face against handlock. I would rather hold on to that. Especially if I could make some fireballs with my Archmage pretty soon and then do something like 15 in one turn when I get to turn 10 with double Fireball Frostbolt.
Yeah.
So, that Flame Cannon, it's good, but I think in that case, your Flame Cannon was better there, because you're clearing a minion with it, right?
Yeah.
And you can still use the 2/2 to clear it up to get your secret. Or you can keep your 2/2 and use a ping.
I'm enjoying watching chat room just now catch up to the disconnect, and the flood of people telling me disconnect is a loss.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that the disconnect doesn't seem to have necessarily, chosen the tournament winner, because we did go into Game 5 and it looks like Tom Lincoln does have a fairly decent lead here in this game. So that's kind of nice, but you just don't want to see it. Period.
No, none at all.
So now here, ooh,
Out
see,
comes
when you fireball
Mal'Ganis.
this, you're gonna get Mal'Ganis, and now if you had your Frostbolt right now, you'd be able to freeze Mal'Ganis, right?
Yep.
But instead, he has this flame cannon, which so there's a couple of odd plays in there that didn't quite work out. I think here you probably just Mountain Giant. Okay. Now, actually, if you Jiraxis here, you're not gaining health, but you are able to clear the board because you're not going to take damage when you use your weapon to kill one of these guys.
Right.
So actually, Jiraxis is okay here as well, and also you're out of cards, which really sucks. And he gets an attack for 5. Wow. Does he really? No, it doesn't buff it once it goes. Okay, good. All right. But he's not taking any damage here. He can clear both of these minions, and now he's turned his hero power into just a beast of a hero power.
Yeah. Now Mal'Ganis will die this turn to the flame cannon, and Tom Lincoln will get himself another fireball.
Yeah. So now he's actually again here. Like if he had the Frostbolt, he'd be threatening lethal next turn. Because he'd have 5, 11, 12 with the ping, and 15 with the Frostbolt.
Oh, this Argus is gonna really throw a monkey wrench into Tom Lincoln's situation here.
Yes, but he didn't get rid of the fireball machine.
Right. So he can fireball and get another fireball and fireball a second time, and even has a ping at his disposal, which will at least get rid of the 2 big problems here, which is a 5/6 taunter and the 7/7.
The winning play is fireball face twice.
That's what looks like he's doing.
Because I don't think you're not losing right now. To the 5/6 can't attack.
Correct.
So you fireball face twice. You ping anything. It doesn't really matter. That 1 damage means nothing.
Yeah.
And the only way that you can not lose here is a heal bot, double heal bot, and double heal bot's not happening. So it looks like Tom Lincoln's gonna take this tournament.
Yeah. Wow. After a DC. I'm glad that this happened.
It's kind of it sucked. Oh,
and
then
he
just
pulls
takes another
fireball. Just in case. There's some room for BM here. It looks like we're not going to see it. We're going to see a very honorable victory by Tom Lincoln. Yeah, that's dust your shoulders off, Tom Lincoln. You classy.
Tom Lincoln comes back from the disconnect, from some what I thought some kind of rough matchups for him, able to pull those out, and actually takes home the Taco Fall version, and he gets a $40 BattleNet card and the custom one-of-a-kind Taco Etched Beer Glass. So congratulations to him. Phantom has had, of course, a great run. He also gets a $40 gift card, and 3rd and 4th both take home $20 gift cards. So good for those guys as well.
And I'm getting salty messages from someone who's not even in the tournament.
Not even in the tournament.
Really mad.
Just
I can't switch back to our faces because XSplit is still frozen.
Well, that sucks,
So
but I guess
people are
we'll at least we're not offline, I think.
Right. I believe it still worked, so this should be fine. If I have to control-alt-delete the XSplit, I should still be able to salvage the video, so this will still be able to go up on YouTube. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This is so awkward that you have to stare at my menu screen as we do this outro, but congratulations to all the contestants. Congratulations to Tom Lincoln, our winner. And big thanks to our patrons over at patreon.com/TAC for making this possible.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact is that we've reached the patron goal that allows us to do 4 of these a year now.
Yeah.
So, these are going to keep happening, and it's really cool that you guys are supporting us and allowing us to take the time and do things like this and give our community a chance to kind of come together and play competitively against each other. It's really hard right now to break into some sort of a competitive Hearthstone event, and to have one that doesn't require you to be 100% on top of the meta and gives you a little leeway to play maybe the decks you like rather than the decks you feel like you have to play. I think is pretty cool. So,
all right. Well, big congrats to everyone once again. Dills, thank you for casting this with me. Which
that was fun.
Really glad you were here because of all of these issues that were going on. I went dark on my talky bits.
That's all right. I could talk enough for both of us. So.
Yeah.
We missed out on having Jocelyn here, which is too bad. But she was pulled away by RL issues, and hopefully she'll be able to cast with us for the For the next taco event,
One of these taco tournaments, all three of us will be able to cast, so help me God.
one day. Yeah, one day. I guess the next one will be like, what, winter? Taco winter? So,
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
I'll be married by then, and
Totally different world, man. It's going to be crazy.
yeah, things will be completely different because it's not like we haven't lived together for 4 years or something.
It all changes, man.
Yeah,
It
it's all just like we're married now. Okay, time to fight about laundry.
That's exactly what happens.
All right. Well, I'm gonna attempt to delete this. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you for the
See you
next
guys
taco.
Monday also.
Yeah.
For the Angry Chicken tomorrow.